Use code PAID10 for 10% off your next order of Advanced GG. Welcome back to another Destiny 2 Final Shape video, everybody. In today's video, we are going to be ranking all 15 legendary weapons that dropped with episode echoes Act 1, 2, and 3. There are some banger weapons in here, some weapons that you need to get your hands on, and there's a lot to go over, so let's get into it. But before we get into it, if you guys are new here, don't forget to subscribe for more Destiny 2 content. And if you guys enjoy this tier list making video, let me know you enjoy it by leaving a like down below. It's my first time making a tier list video, so if this video does well, perhaps I shall do more in the future, ranking different kinds of content. So first up, let's talk about the Veiled Threat, the legendary kinetic stasis auto rifle. And according to LightGG, things aren't looking too good for it, and it's got a 2.7 ranking for PvE and a 2.3 for the Crucible. Let's take a look at these perks down here. Not seeing anything too crazy. You know, for PvP, you do got things like To the Pain and Fragile Focus for more range, but you don't really have your classic damage perks in the next column. You do got Desperate Measures, but that's more easy to get up in PvE. You got Surrounded, but once again, that's more of a PvE perk. You do got Headstone on this, which is nice, but all in all, I'm not really feeling any of the perk combinations on this. So for now, we're gonna put it at the C tier. Next up, we have the Lost Signal Legendary Stasis Grenade Launcher. This is an area denial frame. LightGG is giving it a 4.7, almost a perfect score for PvE, and only a 2.2 for the Crucible. When it comes to grenade launchers, you got a lot of good perks here. I mean, obviously you got auto-loading holster is a really good one. You got lead for gold for that ammo economy. You got high ground for extra damage. One for all for 35% increased damage. And this is like one of the easiest perks to proc on this grenade launcher, since you're going to be hitting multiple enemies anyways. Demolition is for more grenade energy. Yeah, all in all, yeah, this is a banger for PvE. Unfortunately, in PvP, it's really easy to avoid this and just walk out of the little pool of damage. So Lost Signal, you know what? We're going to put that in the A tier. Almost S tier, almost pushing it over the edge, but you know what? I'm gonna give it an A for now. Up next, we have the Sightline Survey, legendary arc energy hand cannon, the precision frame, the 180 hand cannons. Now at base, this just has the 1 second time to kill, which isn't very good in the Crucible, but nonetheless, LightGG's giving it a 4.6 and a 4.4 in PvE. Let's take a look at the perks and see why. So already we have a lot of good things here. In the first column, you got Keep Away, more range, more accuracy, Fragile Focus for more range. You got Enlightened Action for better handling, Strategist, more ability energy. In the last column, you have really good perks for PvP. You got Precision Instrument, Opening Shot, Kill Clip, and for PvE, you're looking at Volt Shot or Desperate Measures. Yeah, I can see why this hand cannon is rated so high already for LightGG. And when it comes to legendary 180s, I gotta say, it's definitely an A, maybe even an S tier for 180s, because you can get that precision instrument 3-tap without even having to get a kill. I mean, it's really close. A or S tier. I'm going to put it in A for now. An A tier hand cannon. Up next, we got the Corrasion Legendary Arc Energy Pulse Rifle. This is one of those heavy bursts, so it fires off 2 shots at a time. LightGG is giving this a 3.5 for PvP and a 4.4 for PvE. Now, these 2 bursts do a lot of damage in PvE. Unfortunately, in PvP, if you're not too accurate and land your shots with them, they really can hurt your time to kill. But I mean, for PvE, you got things like Pugilists for those melee builds. You got High Impact Reserves. And in the last column, they got some really good damage perks. You got Focused Fury, One for All. You got Volt Shot. I mean, if you're using this thing in PvE, you're probably going to go Volt Shot. And any weapon with Volt Shot in PvE is automatically at least a B tier, maybe even A tier. You know what? I mean, it's good. Definitely good, but is it S tier? I'm gonna play it safe for now. We're gonna put this one in A tier. So far, we got 3 weapons in A tier, and poor little auto rifle down here in C tier. Up next, we have the Time-Worn Wayfair Legendary Solar Energy Scout Rifle. This is one of those aggressive frames, high damage, high recoil, kind of like the Dead Man's Tail. This one also has some good ratings over here from LightGG, 4.5 for Crucible, 4.6. I actually really like this weapon in Crucible. I used it to go flawless on some of those longer range maps. You got the perk High Ground in the Crucible, get extra damage for not even getting a kill. You pair that with Keep Away for more range and accuracy. Keep Away, High Ground, that's a deadly combo for the Crucible. And then of course for PvE, I mean, take a look at this. We got heal clip right here, and you can pair that with incandescent. Anytime heal clip incandescent is available on a weapon, that's pretty much the god roll 100% of the time. Everybody's going to be using that combination. And I'm really liking the Time Worn Wayfair. I gotta say, you know what? We're gonna break the seal. We're gonna go S tier. When it comes to legendary scout rifles, I'm telling you guys, try it out with high ground. S tier. Next up, we're looking at the Aberrant Action, the legendary solar energy sidearm. This is one of those rocket assisted frames. Light GG is giving this a 2.5 in the Crucible. I got to agree with that. These rocket assisted frames aren't too good in PvP, but it gets almost a perfect 5.0. They gave it a 4.9 for PvE. And I do have to agree. I mean, look at these perks. You got heal clip, beacon rounds, strategist, pugilist. You got incandescent, swashbuckler, golden tricorn, demolitionist. Everything that you need to make this sidearm successful is on here. But of course, 99.9% of you are going with heal clip and incandescent. And you know what? We're not fooling anybody. This is going in the S tier. This is definitely going in S tier. Whenever I'm rocking a solar build or there's solar surge, I'm taking the Aberrant Action. Next on our list is the Chronophage legendary void energy trace rifle, adaptive frame, and dear God, do my eyes deceive me? We got a perfect 5.0 for the Crucible and a perfect 5.0 for PvE. Well, taking a look at the perks, I can see why. You got repulsor brace and destabilizing rounds, one of the nastiest combos for void setups. Repulsor brace destabilizing rounds is basically the equivalent of heal clip incandescent, but for the void flavor. And then for PvP, you could be rocking things like elemental capacitor paired with target lock. Get a really nice low TTK on this, and you got a lot of range in the Crucible. I mean, we can't really disagree with Light GG too much. I'm not that big of a fan of trace rifles per se, so we're putting this in A tier, definitely in A tier. Now up next we have the rocket launcher called the Faithkeeper, legendary void rocket launcher, precision frame. So this does have built-in tracking. Light GG's giving it a 2.3 and a 3.6. Ooh, things are not looking good for this. Taking a look at the perks, it does have good perks that you would want and that you would need on a rocket launcher. We got auto loading holster, impulse amplifier, clown cartridge in that first column. Then you've got some damage perks like frenzy. You also got the goat explosive light. But you know what? This isn't in the right archetype. So compared to those other rocket launchers, you're going to be doing a little bit less damage. So really, what is the point to taking this in a damage phase? I've never heard anybody say, hey, we're about to kill Crota, or hey, we're about to kill Oryx. Let me whip out my Faithkeeper. When it comes to rocket launchers, you know what? I'm doing it. I'm putting it F tier. Nobody's using this. If you guys are using this rocket launcher for damage, let me know about it down in the comments so everybody else, including myself, can roast you. Up next, we have the Ill Omen legendary stasis sword. It's a caster frame. Oof, and Light GG is giving it a 0.0 in the Crucible. Oh, Light GG, how'd you have to do my boy like that? You couldn't have gave him a 0.1. That is harsh. Although PvE, where it's getting a 4.4. Let's take a look at the perks. You got things like Relentless Strikes. You've got Attrition Orbs. You've got Strategist in that first column. In the last column, you got Cold Steel, Surrounded, Vorpal Weapon, One for All. You know, it's not a bad sword, but I gotta say it's not very popular either. I haven't seen anybody rocking the Ill Omen. You know, I'm gonna say... you know what, just to fill this list out, I'm putting a D tier. We're going D. Moving on to our next one, we got the Speleologist, not sure how you say it. Legendary solar power machine gun, rapid fire. Light GG, giving it a 1.8 in the Crucible and a 3.6 in PvE. Let's take a look at the perks. You do got the classic heal clip and incandescent. The only thing about that is reloading a machine gun takes a pretty long time. You also got Envious Assassin to get more in the mag, and Killing Tally is present here. You know, I don't know how I feel about it. It does have good perks. I don't see a lot of people using it. I'm gonna have to we gotta fill this list out. I gotta put something in B. Let's give it B tier. I would say it's a little bit above average. It's got Killing Tally, so you know it's not completely useless. All right, so that is it for the 10 Echo weapons. We're moving on to the reprised weapons, aka the Season of the Dawn, I believe it was, the Saint 14 weapons. And first on our list is the Martyr's Retribution legendary solar energy grenade launcher. We got that crispy wave frame, Light GG 2.3 for PvP and a almost perfect 4.9 for PvE. And if we take a look at the perks, it's got all the perks you would need for a grenade launcher. You got the auto loading holster in the first column, Envious Assassin in the first column, Heal Clip in the first column. Those three right there are goated. In that last column, you got some damage perks. You got Desperate Measure, Adrenaline Junkie, Vorpal. You got Kill Clip. But you got the tried and true nasty combo right here of Heal Clip and Incandescent, which pretty much everybody's going to be going for. And just because of the history with this, you know, it's the first ever wave frame, you know, we're putting this in S tier. It's an S tier grenade launcher. Let's not kid around. Let's not fool ourselves. All right, up next, we have the Line in the Sand legendary Arc linear fusion rifle, precision frame, got a 4.0 in the Crucible and a perfect 5.0 in PvE. 5.0? Who is using this thing? I haven't seen anybody use this. Oh dear God, it's got some good perks. We got the classic rapid hit and bait and switch. Okay, so now I see. Now I see where they're coming from. Or even better, you got clown cartridge on this thing. I mean, when it comes to arc linear fusion rifles, I guess this is a very good option right here. You also have firing line for extra damage. This thing also comes with Volt Shot. I don't know why you'd be clearing ads with this. I definitely wouldn't take Volt Shot on this. And for PvP, oh, you got Under Pressure and Opening Shot for a bunch of extra accuracy. So, okay, I see why this gets a 5.0 in PvE. Line in the Sand, definitely good. Is it good enough for S tier? You know what? Me personally, I'm going to put it in A because if I'm going to use an arc linear fusion rifle, I'm probably going to use one of those 3-round burst linear fusion rifles over this. All right, next up we have the Patron of Lost Causes legendary kinetic scout rifle, a lightweight frame, 3.5 in the Crucible, 4.5 in PvE. Let's take a look at the perks. All right, we got a rapid hit, triple tap, strategist, explosive payload, kinetic trimmers, precision instrument. You know what? Kinetic trimmers is pretty goated in PvE. Precision instrument does help out a little bit in the Crucible. Explosive rounds, you know, that's always good, especially in PvE activities. But where does it rank on the list? You know, I mean, to be honest with you guys, have you guys seen this out in the wild? I don't see anybody using it. Not an S tier, definitely not an A tier. It's got some good perks though. I'm gonna put it a B tier. B tier scout rifle in my opinion. All right, we got the Perfect Paradox legendary kinetic shotgun rapid fire. It's got a 3.4 in PvP. Very respectable 4.8 in PvE. Let's take a look at the perks. You got Pugilist, Threat Detector, Slide Shot, Dual Loader. Dual Loader is a good one. I like that. Get a lot more ammo, a little bit quicker. For the damage perks, you got Trench Barrel, Swashbuckler, 1-2 Punch, Vorpal Weapon. You know what? This is one of the OG weapons, so it's got a little bit of a favoritism from me. And whenever I'm running a melee build, I'm definitely choosing the Perfect Paradox. I like doing the Titan 1-2 punch thing. I also like doing the Hunter melee, then follow up with some shots. But where does it go on the list? You know what? Screw it. I'm doing it. I'm going S tier. It's an S tier shotgun, in my opinion, especially if you got those melee builds. Now, last but definitely not least, we're talking about the Breachlight legendary Strand kinetic sidearm, a heavy burst, one of those 2-round burst sidearms. Got a 4.1 in the Crucible, 4.7 in PvE. Let's take a look at the perks. You got Slice, Demolitionist, Pugilist, Threat Detector. In that first column, Desperate Measures, Vorpal Weapon, Hatchling, Adrenaline Junkie, Swashbuckler. This thing is stacked when it comes to the perks. And I gotta say, personally, I really like the combination of Slice paired with Desperate Measures, specifically on my Punchy Hunter. With that combination blow, you dodge, activate Slice, debuff the enemies, get a melee kill off, you get that ×3 Desperate Measures, and then you can just rinse and repeat with your Roly-Poly Hunter Punchy build. Where does this fall on the list? You know, I'm putting it in A tier. You know what? Maybe even an S tier. Should I move it to S tier? Yeah, I already got a sidearm up there. You know, I'm moving it to 8. I'm going to keep it in A tier. And that is it, folks. We are all out of weapons. That is all 15 weapons ranked for Episode Echoes Act 1, 2, and 3. Let me know down in the comments, what do you think about my list? Is it pretty spot on? Or am I just an idiot? Let's argue about it down in the comments. And don't forget, if you like this tier list video, leave a like, because that will let me know if I should keep on making these tier list videos. I'm paid to be famous. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll catch you guys in the next Destiny 2 video.